Have you ever wondered if the man you're with truly values you, or if he's just using you for his gain? It's a question many older women face, yet so few talk about. The sad reality is that some men are experts at hiding their true intentions, and they often manipulate older women by saying things that sound harmless but are anything but. If you're not careful, these words can cost you more than just your time and money. They can take a toll on your emotional well-being and self-esteem. In this video, we're diving deep into the 6 sneaky phrases men often use when they're taking advantage of older women. These phrases are designed to make you feel special, to lower your guard, and to manipulate you into giving more than you should. If you can spot them early, you can avoid emotional and financial exploitation, saving yourself from heartache in the long run. But it's not just about recognizing a few red flags, it's about reclaiming your power. Understanding these subtle manipulations gives you the tools to protect yourself and set healthier boundaries in relationships. I'll also share practical tips on how to differentiate between genuine love and emotional manipulation. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to listen for, how to respond, and most importantly, how to safeguard your heart. This is crucial knowledge that could change how you approach relationships from here on out. Stick with me, because this video is packed with life-changing insights. Don't miss out. Your future happiness could depend on it. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. According to a 2021 survey by Psychology Today, over 50% of women who reported being used in relationships shared that they ignored early warning signs because they wanted so badly to believe in the good, to believe that things could turn around, or that the person they were involved with might change. I think many of us can relate to this. It's easy to get caught up in the emotions of a relationship, especially when you feel a connection with someone. But the reality is, that kind of blind faith can set us up for deep emotional pain down the road. And that's why today's video is so incredibly important. If you can spot these warning phrases early, if you can identify the red flags before they fully take root, you can save yourself a world of heartache and frustration later on. It's about learning to trust your instincts, setting boundaries, and protecting your heart before it's too late. Let's dive into 6 things that men often say when they're using an older woman. At first, these phrases may seem innocent or even flattering, but if you dig deeper, you'll see that they carry hidden agendas, ones that can leave you feeling manipulated and taken advantage of. One of the most common things men say is, "You're different from women my age." When you hear this, it can feel like a compliment, can't it? He's admiring your maturity, your wisdom, your grace. He might be focusing on your experience, your confidence, and the way you carry yourself. These are all qualities that are worth celebrating. Who wouldn't feel good hearing that? But let's take a step back. If you listen closely, this line often marks the beginning of a subtle but dangerous pattern of behavior. In reality, this phrase is often part of a grooming process. By telling you that you're different from women his age, he's trying to set you apart, to isolate you. He wants you to feel special, unique, and irreplaceable. And in doing so, he lowers your guard and makes you more emotionally vulnerable. And here's the thing. This tactic isn't just a compliment. It's a way of manipulating your emotions to gain control. Dr. Wendy Walsh, a relationship expert, points out that flattering comparisons like this are frequently used as manipulation tools to create emotional dependency faster. It's not necessarily about how much he values you as a person. Instead, it's about softening you up so you'll be more willing to give him what he wants, whether it's your time, your resources, or even your trust. At this point, it's crucial to ask yourself some tough questions. Is he truly valuing me for who I am? Or is he simply saying what he knows will make me feel good enough to let my guard down? Words are incredibly easy to say, but actions are where the truth lies. Does he back up his compliments with real, consistent actions that demonstrate genuine respect and commitment? Or is he just saying the right things to keep you emotionally hooked while offering very little in return? Pay attention to whether his actions align with his words. Does he show up for you in meaningful ways? Does he make an effort to truly get to know you beyond the surface level? These are the things that matter. Another phrase that's often used is, "I just need a little help right now." It's temporary. At first, this line might sound reasonable, even compassionate. After all, everyone goes through tough times, right? Life can be unpredictable, and sometimes we just need a little assistance. It seems like a harmless request, especially if you care about someone and want to help. However, this is where things get tricky. When a man is asking for money, a place to stay, or even just emotional support without any real plan to become more independent or show long-term reliability, it's a huge red flag. At first, it may feel like a one-time thing. Maybe he's just going through a rough patch. But here's the reality. When someone starts asking for help without offering anything in return, it can quickly turn into a pattern of dependency. And before you know it, you're constantly giving, constantly helping, while he remains passive, taking advantage of your generosity. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't help those we care about when they're in need. But in a healthy relationship, there should be a balance, mutual support, respect, and a willingness to give and receive. When someone keeps asking for help without showing any signs of long-term stability, it starts to feel one-sided. And this is when you need to pause and evaluate the situation. Is he genuinely struggling and just needs a little temporary assistance? Or is he using my kindness to create a situation where I feel responsible for his well-being, making it easier for him to take without giving back? If a man can't offer long-term reliability or prove that he's willing to work through his challenges healthily, then this request for help is likely just a tactic to keep you emotionally invested in him. It's a manipulation strategy that can lead to you giving more and more of yourself, without ever getting the support, love, and commitment you deserve in return. In this case, the temporary help may become a permanent fixture in the relationship, and the emotional burden will fall squarely on your shoulders. So ask yourself, what's the real motivation behind his request for help? Is he trying to build a life with you? Or is he just trying to get something from you without ever offering anything meaningful in return? It's heartbreaking when you realize that you've been manipulated like this. But it's also incredibly empowering to recognize these warning signs early on. By learning to trust your instincts and recognizing these red flags before they fully take root, you can protect yourself from the kind of emotional pain that comes with being taken advantage of. You deserve a relationship built on mutual respect, honesty, and genuine care, not manipulation, emotional dependency, or deceit. The more we can recognize these warning phrases and manipulative tactics, the more we can guard our hearts and invest our time and energy in relationships that truly honor us. Always remember, you are worthy of love that's pure, unconditional, and based on trust, not on what you can give or do for someone else. You are enough, just as you are. A 2020 study conducted by Forbes Women uncovered a shocking truth. Financial exploitation is most common in relationships where emotional dependence is created in less than 6 months. This statistic raises a crucial question. What should you do when entering a new relationship, especially one where emotions run high and everything feels so intense? The answer may seem simple, but it's essential. Set clear and firm financial boundaries early on. It's easy to be swept up in the whirlwind of new love, but if you're not careful, it's also easy to fall into a trap. You need to be vigilant and protect your financial independence. Offering financial help should never come from a place of guilt, and it certainly shouldn't be a way to prove your love. Instead, choose to help only after real, long-term trust has been established. This takes time, and you should never feel pressured into making these decisions prematurely. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. One of the most dangerous tactics used by emotionally manipulative or toxic partners is what Dr. Ramani Devasula, a clinical psychologist, refers to as the "you understand me" card. The partner might say something like, "You're so mature. You understand my struggles better than any other woman." On the surface, this sounds like a heartfelt compliment. It seems like he's acknowledging your wisdom, emotional intelligence, and the unique connection you share. But here's the problem. What he's doing is using flattery to manipulate you into accepting behavior that should never be tolerated. It's not a sign of maturity that he's leaning on you so quickly. It's a sign of emotional manipulation. If this understanding quickly turns into excusing his bad behaviors, whether it's chronic unemployment, irresponsibility with money, or even blatant dishonesty like cheating, then you're being used. At that moment, he isn't seeking your emotional support in the way he makes it seem. Instead, he's creating a false sense of closeness that draws you in, all while masking his lack of accountability. Dr. Devasula's research indicates that toxic partners use this phrase, "you understand me," as a shield to avoid taking responsibility for their mistakes. It's a subtle tactic designed to make you feel like you're the one who should make excuses for them, instead of expecting them to grow, take responsibility, or act with integrity. Now, here's the critical point. If you start hearing, "you understand me," after he disappoints you or behaves in a way that goes against your values, take a moment to pause and think. This is not a small issue. This is manipulation. Plain and simple. When a partner uses flattery to minimize your genuine concerns, especially when those concerns involve his actions or behavior, it's a sign that things aren't right. Unfortunately, this manipulation can come in many forms, one of the most common being phrases like, "Love doesn't mean lowering your standards," or "Age is just a number, baby." These phrases may sound romantic or like something meant to reassure you, but in reality, they are just tools to dismiss your legitimate concerns. Many of us have heard these words, especially in relationships where one partner is trying to play down serious issues. Yes, in a healthy relationship, age gaps don't matter, and love transcends superficial barriers. But manipulators twist these common phrases to create doubt in your mind and avoid engaging in serious discussions. They know these words will pacify you, leaving you questioning your judgment instead of holding them accountable for their actions. Let's think about how this plays out in reality. You bring up something important to you, your life goals, your desires for long-term commitment, the things that truly matter to you as you move forward together. And what does he do? He shrugs it off. He brushes you aside with a careless comment like, "You're overthinking this." This isn't just an innocent remark. It's a deliberate attempt to trivialize your concerns and invalidate your feelings. Research published in the Personality and Social Psychology Review found that men who frequently minimize genuine concerns using cliched phrases like this are much more likely to engage in emotionally exploitative behavior. The pattern becomes clear. By dismissing your needs and questions, he's shifting the focus away from his lack of commitment and responsibility. So what should you be watching for? If he uses phrases like, "Age is just a number," to avoid talking about serious issues that matter to you, that's not love. That's manipulation, designed to keep you emotionally tied to someone who isn't prioritizing your well-being or the future of your relationship. Imagine this. You've been open with him about your dreams, your goals, and your need for security in your relationship, and you get nothing but silence or dismissive comments in return. His inability or unwillingness to address your concerns should be a glaring red flag. Healthy relationships are built on communication, trust, and respect, but when these are replaced with cliches and shallow reassurances, it's a clear sign that something is deeply wrong. If he constantly dodges real conversations using these manipulative phrases, you're not in a loving partnership. You're in a toxic dynamic designed to keep you in a state of emotional confusion and vulnerability. In these moments, it's important to trust yourself. When you hear these phrases or start noticing that he's constantly minimizing your feelings, it's not a sign of love, it's a warning sign of emotional manipulation. You deserve more than just empty words and sweet promises. You deserve a relationship where your thoughts, feelings, and goals are respected, not dismissed. If he cannot meet you at the same emotional level, if he uses flattery to manipulate your sense of empathy, it's time to step back, reassess, and make sure you're not losing yourself in the process. Remember, true love doesn't mean excusing bad behavior. It means expecting the best, the growth, and the mutual respect that both partners bring to the table. I've never felt this way about anyone before. The words flow out so smoothly, so sweetly, that they almost seem like they could be taken straight from a fairy tale. They feel special, don't they? They make you believe that you've found something extraordinary, something rare, something you've always dreamed of. It sounds like the stuff of romance movies and heart-throbbing moments. But here's the cold reality. Beware of love bombing. While the initial rush of affection can feel exhilarating, it's important to recognize when it's not genuine and may be a tactic used to manipulate your emotions. Love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with intense affection and admiration at the start of a relationship. They seem like they can't get enough of you, constantly showering you with praise, grand gestures, and declarations of how perfect you are together. At first glance, it's hard not to be swept off your feet. After all, who doesn't want to feel adored? However, what they're doing is attempting to hook you emotionally, quickly. They want to build an emotional connection before you've had a chance to truly evaluate the relationship or the person they are. A 2022 report from Very Well Mind clearly states that love bombing is not just a charming tactic, but often leads to emotional manipulation and exploitation. This is particularly common in relationships where there are financial or lifestyle imbalances, where one partner might try to use these intense feelings to control or take advantage of the other. But how do you spot this kind of manipulation before it gets too deep? It's often in the speed at which things escalate. If within just a few weeks of getting to know someone, they're already labeling you the love of my life or my soulmate, but have barely invested any real time or effort into getting to know you deeply, that's a sign you need to step back. These declarations are not backed up by real, meaningful actions. They're simply emotional bait. Genuine connection isn't built in a rush. It takes time to nurture, develop, to deepen. Love should grow steadily, like the gentle unfurling of a flower. There's no need to push or force it. It should not be rushed like a tidal wave that sweeps you off your feet without any thought for your emotional safety or well-being. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Another phrase you might hear is, "You're the only one who's ever really cared about me." This one can be incredibly manipulative, and it's designed to play directly into your nurturing instincts. As women, especially those of us who are older, we have a deep, natural desire to care for and protect others. This phrase can make you feel responsible for their emotional state. It might even make you feel like you're their savior, the one person who truly understands them. And in a vulnerable moment, you might start to believe that it's your job to fix them or save them from their pain. But here's the thing, you are not responsible for fixing another adult. We must remind ourselves that our role in a relationship is to love and support, not to carry the weight of someone else's unresolved issues. Emotional manipulation thrives on creating this dependency, making you feel like their happiness is solely in your hands. Therapists have long reported that these types of emotional manipulations often involve exaggerated claims of isolation or victimhood. The manipulator might tell you how they've been hurt in the past or how no one has ever truly loved them. These stories are intended to create an emotional bond that is disproportionately weighted on one partner, leaving them feeling like the only person who can save the other. For older women, who often carry the weight of family responsibilities and have spent years nurturing loved ones, this type of manipulation can be especially effective. We're accustomed to being caregivers, and it can feel natural to step into the role of caretaker in a romantic relationship, especially if the person seems vulnerable or emotionally needy. But don't fall into this trap. Real love does not require you to sacrifice your well-being for the sake of another person's emotional survival. What's more, you're not meant to be an emotional life raft for someone else. True, lasting love is about mutual growth, balance, and respect. It's about supporting each other in ways that allow both individuals to thrive, not one person being elevated while the other is left to carry the emotional weight. Love in a healthy relationship will not make you feel responsible for someone's mental or emotional health. It will give you space to grow together, supporting one another without manipulation or dependency. A partner who genuinely cares about you will want to see you flourish, not rely on you to solve their problems or meet every emotional need they have. As we get older, it becomes more vital to recognize these emotional pitfalls. Many of us, especially those of us with more life experience, are deeply attuned to the needs of others. But self-care must always come first. You are not the emotional caretaker or the fixer of anyone else's life. You are worthy of a relationship that honors your autonomy, your growth, and your emotional well-being. Remember, real love supports you in your journey to become the best version of yourself. It doesn't ask you to carry the emotional baggage of another person without first offering respect, care, and genuine connection. Be mindful of anyone who tries to sweep you off your feet with grandiose declarations before they've proven their intentions. Love, in its truest form, is never rushed, never forced, and always supportive of both people's growth and happiness. So trust your instincts, take your time, and most importantly, never allow yourself to be emotionally manipulated. You deserve a love that's real, deep, and nurturing. One that helps you rise, not one that weighs you down. I hope this video has helped you recognize the signs of love bombing and emotional manipulation, and given you a clearer understanding of how to protect yourself from unhealthy relationships. Remember, real love grows slowly, is rooted in respect, and supports your growth as a person. You are not responsible for fixing or saving anyone, and true love will never make you feel emotionally drained or responsible for someone else's happiness. So, what have you learned today? Is there a lesson from this video that stood out to you, something you'll take with you and apply in your own life? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please take a moment to comment below and share one thing you've learned from this video that you plan to practice moving forward. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave your comment below, like the video, and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you never miss more valuable tips on protecting your heart and building healthier, more loving relationships. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.